Good evening. This is Ken Shields reporting the week 2 assignment for the uh, visualization and creative reporting class. Um, the topic of that I chose to go with for this assignment was Star Wars. I chose to go with Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, let me go ahead on and say that I love Star Wars. Um, I watch the movies, I read books, I listen to audiobooks. I love Star Wars. The Solo books that's a trilogy that I have not been able to get to as of yet. So the movie I was kind of 50-50 on. But anyways, what I'm supposed to do this evening is talk about my topics for my dashboard. Right off back, I probably am not going to meet all the requirements for this assignment. So I understand the grade that I may receive for this assignment. So with that being said, the topics for my dashboard include the main characters of the story, the threats or the antagonists in the story. I did include a timeline. I know it was not a required or it wasn't an acceptable sheet for the dashboard, but I do. One of the biggest conversations between me and coworkers and friends is timeline, and I even have a coworker who refused to accept this movie because he feels like it does not fall within an appropriate timeline as far as the characters are concerned. Me, I'm not that rigid. I'm a bit more flexible on the characters, but I do appreciate and love how stories fall within the timeline. I'm not a fan of the canon. I like legends better. I believe canon is messing up the story, but canon is as of right now, the official timeline. So, and the Solo does fall within that timeline. So I thought it was important to show that to how the Solo story flows within that timeline. So I also looked at the ships and the vehicles that were involved in this movie, and a movie review from several critics. So for my main characters part of the dashboard, I just chose to focus on who I really did think was the main characters of this movie that helped move the plot along, or help to express the overarching story of the movie. So I looked at Solo himself, or Han, Tobias Beckett, Chewbacca, Val, a member of Tobias Beckett's crew and girlfriend, Lando Calrissian, Kira, or however you say her name, Voss Dryden, and Enfys Nest. All important characters in this movie, all important characters to the plot of this movie. And if they ever decide to do future movies, for the exception of Val, every character should play a major role, especially Enfys Nest. I thought that was a great character to add to this movie, and it was sad to see that Val and Tobias Beckett were killed off during this movie. The threats in this movie. Who were the antagonists in this movie? So I looked at the Cloud Riders, which were led by Enfys Nest, the Crimson Dawn, the Galactic Empire, of course, they're a common thread in the Star Wars movies. Lady Proxima's white worms and herself, Maul, aka Darth Maul, the Mibanese Liberation Army, the Pike Syndicate, and the Range Trooper. All of these threats, that I will call them, determined how Han Solo and the crew that he ran with would be successful or unsuccessful in this movie. The ships and vehicles, always important in a Star Wars movie. I wish I could have included weapons. I just could not find enough data on the specific weapons that were used in this particular movie. There's a lot of information about previous movies and the weapons that were used, but not for this specific movie. So what I did find information on were the ships and vehicles, and I was happy to see that. Again, a huge conversation is all about the Millennium Falcon, the #1 ship in the galaxy. And that's not even debatable. It's the fastest ship in the galaxy, and that's why one important plot point of the movie was the Kessel Run, and the Millennium Falcon was able to make that Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, which is about, I believe, 36 light years, according to Han Solo himself. So I did look at all the vehicles, most of the vehicles highlighted in the movie, including the First Light, which was the vehicle or the ship used by Dryden Voss, which he used a yacht in this case, the Kevlar yacht. I really found that ship to be very interesting in this movie, and it was actually a ship that was never seen before, that I haven't seen before. So as far as the reviews are concerned, I looked at a couple of sites. Rotten Tomatoes, Common Sense Media, Den of Geek, Metacritic, and again the Rotten Tomatoes audience, which they provided a critique and a review of the movie as well. And I found it fairly interesting that I actually agree with most of the critiques. I personally I didn't go to the theater to see this Star Wars movie, and so I just waited. I waited for it to come out somewhere. I don't actually remember where I saw it. Streamed it from something, but I personally don't feel like I needed to go to the theaters to see this one. But the story was actually good. Although I didn't need to, I wouldn't have mind if I did get a chance to go to the theaters to see it. But I really enjoyed the movie. I need to watch it 2 or 3 more times so I can start breaking the movie down like I like to do. I just like to do that. I like to break the movies down. If by the second or third time I'm not interested in the movie, I won't watch it anymore. Like The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I'll never watch those movies again. They're pretty horrible. I wish they would just go back and remake them. But anywho, that's my report for this evening. I will be submitting my dashboard along with this video and along with my Excel spreadsheets and a Word document that will all include references for the information that I was able to gather. Thank you.